What was I thinking? Why didn't I lock the door? Oh, I can't believe I said that. John's Shame Well. Shame's got the world in motion, guys. And I know what we can do. We can come down into the depths of John's shame well and speak your transgressions, thus curing you of the abject shame. This week's shame submission, as ever, is anonymous, but I have to say, Elis, I found it incredibly tender, melancholic, brought a lot of memories to me, and also made my teeth throb when I read it.
Oh, good.
That's partly due to the shame, partly due to a feeling I've got that I just can't sort out.
Okay.
It's been replaced 3 times.
Ongoing health problems, coupled with shame, is a potent mix.
I thought I'd email my entry for banishing from the shame well. You often mention Reading festivals from the past, and that's where my shame started and has stuck with me ever since. It was Reading Festival 2000.
Ooh, before intern Jake was born.
And I was a 16-year-old who had literally, on the day of travelling, just received his GCSE results. I was giddy. There was lots of drinking, and then we set up camp, and then we drank some more. I think I was actually at this Reading Festival. Maybe it was 99. We were so young, none of us were really au fait with festival protocol, so our campsite was a bit of a mess with huge gaps that people could walk through. And they did, a lot. But I was 16, I had survived the millennium bug, and I was free from school until September when I started 6th form. I really didn't care. Actually, after a couple of nights of this, we were getting a bit fed up with everyone walking through our campsite, so I started asking for 50p of everyone who walked through, as if I was some sort of festival toll troll.
Great humour.
Pretty much everyone ignored me. This is where it gets me. Apart from one amazingly pretty girl who said she could only pay me in love and then went on to kiss me.
Wow.
Only at Reading.
Don't sound creepy, John.
She then left, but promised she would come back and find me later that night at our camp. This was amazing. Perhaps tonight could be the night. Almost immediately after she left, I desperately needed to do a massive, massive poo. Probably the nerves.
Coupled with bad festival food and carling.
It was awful. No worries, though. I have toilet roll. I can just go and sort myself out, I thought. But where was my toilet roll?
He should have done it in his hand and thrown it at a band he didn't like. He could have checked it at Daphne and Celeste.
It had gone. I had no idea where it was. And
horrible thing to say.
Come on, guys.
They got weed checked at them, didn't they?
Guys, I'm reading out someone's shame.
Sorry.
I had no idea where it was, and all of my friends had, quote, run out. So I was now at DEFCON the absolute worst. It was unbearable. I was going to soil myself.
Oh.
After checking every available portaloo for just a slither of paper and finding nothing, I decided the only thing for it, because I was 16 and an idiot, was to make like a bear and go to a wooded area.
Oh my God.
I went really far in and found a tree with suitable leaves to clean.
I'm going to be sick.
And decided this would be the perfect spot. I was relieved. Mid-relieving, I suddenly heard laughter and massive choruses of "We know what you're doing."
Oh, no.
I looked up, and to my horror, I was relieving myself just a few metres from loads of people all pointing and laughing at me. I'm not sure exactly what I had done. Had I gone so far into the woods that I'd come out the other side? All I do know is there were loads of people that I didn't see before I undertook the evacuation, and suddenly they were all laughing and pointing and chanting. My life was over. I panicked. I pulled up my trousers and got the hell out of there. I had barely wiped. Oh, how my night had taken a turn for the worse. Stinking of mess, I went back to my tent, got straight in my sleeping bag and tried to go to sleep and then deal with my awful life in a few hours when it got light. God. 5 minutes later, the girl from earlier in the night unzips my tent and climbs in with me. Knowing I was basically covered in my own awfulness, I had to tell her to leave as I was ill and that she should come back the next day. She gave me a look I'll never forget, and she said she would, but she didn't, and I never saw her again. I rarely go more than a few days without thinking about that fateful night because every single decision I made was wrong. Why didn't I just use some socks? Why didn't I get some leaves and take them to the portaloo? Why didn't I just ask a neighbouring campsite for some toilet roll? Why? Please help me. There you go.
If it's any consolation, I feel you, man. That is one of the worst shame wells we've ever had.
Oh, mate.
You did nothing wrong. Well, you did, but it wasn't your fault.
But you missed out on a thick slice of youth.
Oh.
Imagine how that night could have gone and it had not been for the toileting issue. I feel
Don't
for
rub
you,
it
mate.
in.
If it's any consolation, I had a great time at Reading Festival and kissed a girl and didn't soil myself.
Any consolation, James Bay, who we're playing now, has got loads of toilet paper.